How's it going everyone? My name is Mr.EATvis. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the new update coming to the Crossout, which most of you know as the Night Riders event. And of course, as always, with each update there's some new stuff coming out. In this update we're going to see a new stuff like 2 new weapons, 1 new module, 3 new cabins, some meta rebalances. For example, the most common thing in top league, harvesters and hammerfalls. Other thing that we're gonna see is audio rebalance, or more options for the audio. And let's just start the video. So at the first, let's go take a look at the cabins. So the first 3 cabins, the first one is light one, harpy, the second one is a medium one, photon, and the third one is heavy, bastion. So let's start from the first one. The first one, cabin harpy, it's a light cabin, max speed is 100 kilometers per hour, which is pretty damn good. The tonnage for a light cabin is like average, weight limit kinda average, 12 energy, which is pretty good. Durability, well, light cabin, not surprised. I think the most interesting thing is all this perk. This perk will be very good for the crickets plus the ammunition, because they're mostly for the ammunition and the projectile explosions. The cricket, well, cricket build lovers, here you go, here's your cabin, you should get it. The second cabin that I'm personally going to make it, and I already have parts for it, all these except tailors, because that's the premium currency, is the medium cabin photon. And as you see, it has pretty good speed, tonnage, weight limit, and 12 energy, which is pretty damn good. From the perk, you can already probably think there is a similar cabin to it. It's a quantum cabin, but except 130, instead of 135% damage increase, the phantom, I think it gives around 20%. Yeah, it gives 20% if you don't get shot to your energy weapons. But this is basically the same one for the energy weapons, except it deals much more damage to the heated parts. So if you have a player with a mandrake in your team, or the catapult or however that's called, anything with fire that makes fire, stay next to him and shoot at the same targets that he does, because he will then just get him on fire and you can do much more damage than he does. And as always, this is what it takes to craft it. And to be fair, I think this cabin will be probably the most expensive one. Anyway, let's move on to the third cabin. The third cabin is a heavy cabin bastion, and as always, a heavy cabin 11 energy, which is pretty damn bad. Weight limit, it's pretty good. Tonnage, pretty good. Max speed, well, it's heavy cabin, not surprised. I think the perk is it's very interesting, but it's not actually very good for the top league. You see, there's a very similar cabin to it. I think it's a medium cabin, Cerberus cabin, if I'm not mistaken. That cabin has a saw in front of it, but this one has a blade, so I'm not sure how this is supposed to work correctly. We will see how this goes when it comes out live. This is what it takes to make it. Pretty not bad, not bad. And here we go, let's go to the weapons. So, Protector, it's a frontal machine gun, am I right? Yes, frontal machine gun, here we go. Durability, well, pretty low, and as an epic weapon, it has 3. I know that there's another machine gun who has 3 energy consumption, and it's pretty damn good. The perk for the frontal machine gun, no, it's kind of decent. If you have like 3 or 4 of them, you should do some pretty good damage. And this of course what it takes to make it. Well, I'm not a frontal machine guns or any frontal gun lover, so I'm probably not going to make it anyway. Here's the weapon that I want to talk about a lot. So as you see, it's a legendary weapon. This is the PS is kind of low for a legendary weapon, Durability, it's not the best, but this is the most interesting one. It takes free energy consumption, so you can have about 4 of them on your build, which is damn good. I like it. And this is the ability that you're going to need. This is the perk that you're going to need like 2 radiators to use them. So it's interesting, looking forward to, and if I have a chance I will try it out, or at least from exhibition, because I'm not sure if I have enough resources to make 4 of them. And this is what it takes to make one of them. It's of course the hardest one is electronics, at least for me personally, that's the hardest one. Here we go to the next gun. It's called Pulsar. It's a plasma gun, so it's like a scorpion type of gun because it shoots straight and it's an energy pulse. Or it's basically a better version of the weapon, of the epic weapon called Quasar. Oh, I don't know how to pronounce that name correctly. Damn, I'm so bad at its pronunciation. Anyway, let's move on. It's a legendary weapon. PS, it's 2k, ammunition 16, durability pretty decent, and energy consumption 6, just like the Fat Man's, not bad. And the feature, well, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. This reminds me of a Lancelot perk, except of speed you need to pass some the old Lancelot perk. You know, remember when you need to pass like 100 meters and you get your Lancelot charges up. That's something. And the module that I'm looking forward to, Rift 2M. Well, this module looks very interesting from specifications and all that. And description, it's pretty interesting. So the idea of this module that I think it is, basically if you're using a ramp car and you have 6 wheels and a ramp in front of it, it takes a lot of, well, it takes a lot of weight in front of it, right? Well, you go in the fight and someone shoots out your 4, like your 2 main wheels who stabilize it, the front, right? And then you basically, when you lose these 2 wheels, you can't move properly because it's too heavy in the front. It's very hard. If you have this module attached to your front, to the parts at least who make the front of your car, you can use it and the parts of your car will be removed. It doesn't deal any damage to your car, but it just removes the parts. So basically you can detach the parts from your car using the module. It's pretty interesting. It gives new building opportunities. Of course, what I forgot to mention was the workbenches. As you see, the Oculus, Nighthawk and Helios will be added to the faction workshops or workbenches. So new blueprints, which is pretty good for players who like to craft. I kind of crafting, but not always. Anyway, let's go to the next part. Welcome back everyone, and sorry for the little cut, but let's talk about next. So as you see, it's a preliminary information, the Crossout update 0.10.4. Well, it's not fully correct, but they might change it. As you see, they say it. As they say it, not all the things that they mentioned this are going to make into the game. They might be changed a little bit. Anyway, let's check it out. Well, I think this is not very important. It doesn't do much. It's just basically saying about April Fool's Day, when there's be some sort of player favorite brawl with some sort of funny car, and I think this is the car, this little white piece of box, and this little chef with Reaper, which is pretty interesting. Let's move on. So remember I told about the sound. This is the sound I was mentioning about. All this coming out, the sound update. The main sound that we all hear now is this normal. It's nothing, just simple, everything you hear. extended version, as you see, it focuses on some sort of specific sounds. For example, someone fired very far away, and at the same time someone passed you by. In the normal mode, you would hear them both kind of normally, right? In extended one, you would hear the one that passing by, like the closer to your car, more loudly than the one further. So that's what basically I think that's how it works. And the night mode is basically for people who are using who don't have the headsets and playing the game with sound at night. So yeah, it's kind of cool feature to the game. Really looking forward to it. Okay, shotgun breaker. Well, it's a relic weapon, I already can tell, because a breaker, there's no one using it. There's actually only 2 of them for sale on the market. And I know this sounds bad, but this weapon is piece of trash. Buy Hammerfalls instead. They do have better PS, they do more damage, and they're much cheaper. And of course, see the breaker, well, no one buys it, so they have to somehow increase it. Well, we will see. And as you see here, no one actually using them. And as I said, at the moment the thickness of the new shotgun breaker is significantly lower than that of other relic weapons. And it's so damn true, because even basically all main medi YouTubers and streamers said this weapon is a piece of trash. As I mentioned before, the main meta of the game now are harvesters and hammerfalls getting rebalanced, and there you go, the harvester rebalance that you're most probably caring about. In the clan that I'm in, we talked about this rebalance of this, and it's basically not a big change. What I basically want to tell, the harvester nerf, it's not actually a nerf, they're just basically going to increase PS, if I understand correctly. I'm not using harvester builds, I'm not a huge fan of it, I don't have harvesters, but the people that I played with who have, they read this and they said they're going to do the same like to hovers when they were used to be the kings of the lower leagues. They're gonna increase PS and maybe, well, decrease some of the damage points, that's what they basically want to say. The trucks and ogres, I don't see them oftenly in the game, that someone uses them, but they're pretty good as shields. The reverse speed basically means when you move back, when you go back you move faster. Pretty good, really good. And this is the most interesting part of it. When the Oculus was first introduced, I actually made him and I was trying out, and my first expression of it was, this raider is piece of trash. Sorry developers, but it was piece of trash. Now with this, it might be something good, it might be useful, and I'm actually looking forward to make it again and try it out. You definitely don't be surprised if you see a video coming out just specifically on that trader. And let's move on. Shotgun hammerfalls. Well, this is very interesting thing, because this kind of changed everything for the hammerfall perk that we have right now. So now that you're gonna see this video when it comes out, it will be before update. You will see that the hammerfalls perk, in each shot right now you have some sort of chance of turning off the rotation of the guns that enemy uses it. After update, you're gonna have to go travel some sort of distance, to pass some sort of distance to accumulate 1 charge, and when you shoot, you 100% stop their weapon from rotation for some sort of period of time. It's pretty interesting, it's different perk, but I think it won't change too much. I don't notice that perk very effective anyway, but we will see about that. Grenade launchers. Well, I'm not a huge fan of grenade launchers, to be fair. I really not, and I hope so. This perk will help more, because there's not many people using them. I don't see them oftenly. Well, we will see. Plus, this is a perk, if I'm not mistaken, only for the purple weapon, not the a legendary one. So we will see how that turns out. Basically, if you stand still from in one place and shoot, you have your weapons will overheat slower. But pretty good, pretty good. And that's basically it for this update. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about this new update coming out. I think it's pretty good. As always, Crossout team tries to do the best they can to balance the game, and good job, Crossout. I really look forward to this update. Thanks for watching. Please let me know what you think, and